Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Backcast, our weekly podcast thingy where we talk about the stuff that doesn't pertain very closely to the games that we're playing as we play them.
Not directly.
Not directly.
Which is okay.
Well, most of the stuff we talk about when we're playing games isn't directly tie-in, but you take our meaning.
Yeah, you understand.
So we're back again and here to talk about games and game-related stuff that's going on. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing all right. Been kind of weird, the ramp up towards Christmas here. Trying to get everything, all that last minute shopping done.
Yeah. This is my first day of being on my the shutdown that my company does for the end of the year.
Oh, congratulations.
So I don't have to go back till next year.
Yeah.
And I get paid for it, so that's nice too.
I mean, paid time off is never something to
sneeze at.
So
yeah, so with that time, I've
what have you been doing with yourself now?
You mean with the half day that I've done
with your half day off?
With my
so
half
far,
day,
yeah.
Well, I've still been plugging away at Stardew Valley.
And okay, so how many hours are you in now?
About 30.
Wow. Okay. Right on.
Yeah.
How's it feeling?
It's the same. In? It's what you expect.
It's what you signed up for.
This isn't my first Harvest Moon game.
Sure.
So I know what it is. This one has.
Does it? I kind of understand that it's more of like you're building that economy and you're farming and you're selling, you're making more money.
This one has some improvements that help with that.
Okay.
I
was wondering if there was like an end game of any kind that you kind of work towards.
Sort of.
Or
beginning of the third year, the ghost of your grandpa who wills you your farm shows up and basically rates your performance. And you can then burn a resource if you don't get a perfect score or whatever it is. You can burn a resource later and have him come back and re-rate you.
Oh, okay.
But you can keep playing after that. Then it's just
kind of infinite mode, like.
But
endless farm mode.
Yeah. Something like that.
I still really want to play that game.
It's a lot of fun, and I
will probably get a Switch in order to play it.
I've been doing some reading, and the guy. It's a single developer. He wants to add co-op.
Ooh.
Which is other players are a farmhand on your farm.
Interesting.
But they can also hook up with and marry people in your village.
Okay.
So like,
I wonder why that's that's an interesting way to do that. But
that's the thing. Because you take up the space there. So
yeah. It'd be cool if you could have your own little like shack and stuff to like.
They do have their own shack.
Oh, okay.
You could literally shack up in that, I guess.
That's fantastic.
Because I guess you could. I guess I don't know how that works for you to upgrade
I'm a little more interested. I'm a little more interested in co-oping through some of that.
You get your farmhand quarters, and I guess you can get married and make babies.
That's really wild.
Yeah, and then he's wanting to add more items, more events, more things.
Cool, I guess. It's kind of interesting that he's like still supporting that game. So
making him a ton of money. Why wouldn't you?
I guess so.
Yeah, I guess.
If people are still wanting to buy more into that game, like, hey, good for him.
Yeah, co-op sounds cool, but everything else, I'm like, whatever.
Kind of fun.
Yeah, it's great. The addition of a sprinkler is fantastic. You could, and there's no complicated nature to it. You just put a sprinkler in the ground.
This is already in game.
In game.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
This is not like a new sprinkler.
This is the thing that has allowed me. Yet Harvest Moon didn't have it. Stardew Valley does, and you don't have to run pipes or anything. You stick a sprinkler in the ground, and then it will sprinkle.
And water happens.
Water happens
awesome.
every morning.
That's awesome.
So if you're late and you got to get your sprinklers in, but first thing. Anyway,
that's awesome.
So I now have a bigger agriculture setup than I have in any Harvest Moon game because I don't have to water everything every day
by hand
and
use all that energy up.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think during my first year, I was stoked once or twice. I may have made one or two, like maybe 1,500 gold. Now with my current farm, it kind of comes like at a third of my produce is like 10 grand. A day.
What was your what were you getting in the beginning?
Well, it's not that the plants change or anything.
Right.
A number of things. I
mean, what is your how much were you earning compared to now with the 10K? Like, what's the compare? Like, how much more than at the start of the game is that?
A lot more. It's
okay.
Here's the thing: is I think the most expensive house costs 10 grand.
Oh wow! Okay.
As an upgrade, plus you also have to collect resource.
Yeah, I don't have much of a concept of what that economy looks like.
That's why I was saying during my first year, my best day was 1,500, let's say
1,500,
and now a regular day is 10 grand.
Okay. No, that's considerably more.
Considerably more.
Yeah.
And it's just because, a couple of things. I can craft, or I can buy, I guess, but I craft it because it's easier. Because you catch fish and take tree sap and you make a high-end fertilizer, which means your plants are most likely to hit a better a silver or gold star rating. Which animal products have another star on top of that, an iridium star.
Ooh, S rank.
Yeah, purple stars.
Wow.
Legendary eggs. I get legendary eggs a lot. But the sprinkler lets me cover more ground and just have so much. So when my corn harvest comes in, it's 2 days worth of me harvesting. Or I couldn't plant it fast enough in one day. So so the grow days are set apart. So it's. So
it doesn't quite get Factorio-esque where you're like having things auto planting and
no.
Oh, okay.
Though I have upgraded my barn and my coop to the point where they auto feed.
I mean, hey, that's handy.
Yeah, so and I've got 3 silos worth of hay, so I could last a couple of years without any food. It's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool that you can get. But there's this weird blend where I was trying to do the. You know what? No, by when my grandpa shows up, I want to do. I want to have everything as good as I can because I only have to do I've looked up a couple of things that I needed to do in order to hit where I wanted to, and I would alternate between that and I don't care. I'm going to go fishing today.
Right on.
Or I'm still keeping my eye on that stuff, but yeah, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to just go dig around in the mine, or I'm going to try and craft this thing. I've got into brewing.
Very nice.
I've got 3 kegs working full time.
Oh.
So you have hops. You just grow hops. But the problem is I planted too many hops and didn't realize they produce at the rate they do. So I'm going to be producing hops all winter because I only have 2 barrels, and I'm getting about.
So you have tons of hops, but not enough barrels to put stuff in?
I've got about because you have to sit and it's
right.
It takes a day or so or day or two to ferment into a pale ale.
Okay.
And grapes take longer to ferment into wine. There's also coffee beans that can ferment into coffee. Or not ferment, or brew.
Brew into coffee, sure.
Brew to coffee. I also have a preserve maker, so I'm making jam. But I get 10 or 15 hops a day.
Okay.
And I have 3 barrels that take 2 or 3 days to brew.
How many hops go into each barrel?
1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you need more barrels.
Yes, but I'm slowly working up. I had 2 before. I've just added a 3rd.
Why does it take so long to get barrels? That seems...
some of the crafting, the materials that you need to craft just take a little bit. I haven't been focused on it, so I don't have those materials.
I mean, if you're going to start up your indie craft brew label...
I mean 3 barrels is an indie craft brewery.
I hear you.
I made mead.
Oh, very nice.
Because you
Odin's drink.
You make beehives. And I'm like, I'm just going to test something. Honey into thing, starts brewing. I'm like, sweet. And mead brews real fast.
Okay, there you go.
Like a day.
There you go.
But the honey source is somewhat unreliable, let's say.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so I have a rabbit in my chicken coop now because apparently that's a thing. I'm like, I'll get one of each.
Rabbits just start laying eggs?
Yeah, I've got goat milk producing, regular milk producing. I got a sheep. And I was doing some looking up, and apparently you can hatch dinosaurs.
That sounds awesome.
You can just get a dinosaur, and
snap!
I forget what it does, but you can have dinosaurs. There's also
I can make Stardew Jurassic Park.
Right. There's also void chickens.
Void chicken.
Yeah, they're black with red eyes.
Wow.
And that's it. They lay, I think they lay void eggs, but it still makes mayonnaise like everything else.
just makes mayonnaise like everything.
It's a void chicken. It's domesticated.
Nothing special.
Right. And so, also I got girlfriend Emily. She's actually technically.
Oh, is she? Are you guys now an actual thing?
Yeah, it actually says girlfriend in parentheses after her name.
Have you changed your relationship status on Facebook?
Well, the game did it automatically.
You were forced.
Yeah. It's just, no. You're
existentially you are now in a relationship.
But she sends me stuff now and then, like
That's
in
cool.
the mail. That's
cool.
I got a packet of wool. She's like, "Here's something for you," which I had a spinner right next to the mailbox, so I'm like, "Cool." And now I have cloth.
now it's cloth.
That's why I bought a sheep.
Sure.
So
because might as well.
And I have to figure out how to get friends with everybody. And I repaired the bus that goes to the desert. And there's
desert bus. Nice.
Oh, I also have a greenhouse now.
Okay.
I repaired that. There's a ruined building on your plot when you do complete some objectives.
Need to get into this game.
Here's the thing is, like I said, I could step away from it any time now.
Yeah.
And I won't play it for a week. Or 2.
Well, and it's not like you're losing anything. Nothing's happening in the background.
The only thing you lose is, wait, what was I just about to do?
Right, yeah. Like, where was I?
There is a little bit of that carry on, like, okay, today I'm doing this, tomorrow I'll do that, and then this third day I'll do this. Also, it's going to rain, so I'll just, that's less of a concern now that I have sprinklers. But yeah, and so right now I'm also trying to grow some apple trees. It takes 28 days, so it takes a month for a tree to grow, and then it will start producing. So I have a couple of trees that I'm trying to build, or not build, to grow.
An orchard of sorts?
Not exactly. I don't want to have a full orchard, but I've got some trees tapped for maple syrup, for pine tar,
syrup.
Things like that. The things you need. That's what I think. That's my resource limiting. I need pine tar to make my kegs.
Oh, okay.
And those only come out of the tree so often because I cut down every other pine tree on my property. I like space. I need it to be clear.
But what about your brewery?
I mean,
how are you going to start this label?
I'm gonna. It's gonna be blended initially because I'm gonna.
You got to order. You got to import that
from another brewery, and then but that still counts.
People understand.
Everybody knows you blend to start, you single barrel later.
Yeah, you can single malt later.
Yeah, and since I'm finishing like wine and mead and hops all in the same barrel, it gives it an interesting flavor. I don't know.
Oh, that sounds poisonous.
Yeah, probably. Anyhow, that's just what I'm doing on that. Just been star doing.
Right on. I've been still kicking it in WoW. That's kind of been my only thing lately.
Yes,
is just WoW. And even though I've kind of caught up both of my main characters, so I can raid pretty consistently now.
Yes.
So now I have branched out even farther. And I'm now like leveling alts, trying to get everything up to 1.
Oh, this is when the sickness is its final form.
Well, yeah, this is like final end of expansion.
Achievements is final form of the sickness.
That's true. A little transmog never hurt anybody, but
it's
when I get everything up to, it's the end of the expansion. Once everything's getting up to 110, it's the end of the expansion.
And geared. 110 and geared.
110. Well, I never ever get them that geared. I just get them to level most of the time. What I want to see, I just want to go through and I want to see the artifact stories for
heroic dungeon
class.
Geared though. Did you ever get that far?
I mean, the cheap gear is already that.
Okay.
Like it's like
your veiled Argonite or whatever it is.
The Dauntless gear or whatever I think it is. Whatever you're getting from just your daily quests. Like I've got full sets of gear ready to go on any new.
Oh right, the
hand-me-downs. 110. Yeah, the welfare gear they give you is like 880. So it's already way solid. Better than heroic dungeon gear.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've got that going for me, and everything will be decently geared just because of the welfare gear they throw your way.
It's true.
Right now I'm working on a paladin and a warlock. So that's been interesting.
Yeah.
I've never played Warlock before, especially at max level and in a leveling capacity. It's an interesting class.
Okay.
And then I'm trying out Holy Paladin healing.
I did like my Holy Paladin the last play I played.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's great now.
I have no basis for comparison. It's really interesting. It's like you stack buffs in order to make heals better.
Right.
And they're still very strong. Single target healing, not very great AoE. Which is weird to me since I always did like healing on a druid.
Yeah,
which is very much just like heal everybody.
Stand in the circle or you're gonna die.
Heal everybody at the same time and hots and things like that.
That's
rather than like direct healing bombs and stuff. It's a very counter to what I'm used to.
Right. I did like the old Holy Pally way of working, and like I said, I don't know how much it has changed, but I occasionally kind of throwing out some lightly damaging stuff, but also I'm going to heal this guy who's let's say not intelligent and standing in the fire, but I'm also healing both of our tanks because beacon healing and all that's going off.
And some of that still exists. There's also a talent now that as you're doing damage, whatever damage you're doing does heal everyone around you.
That's cool.
Which is pretty nice.
Okay.
It's minimal. It's minimal, but it's there.
Well, Holy Prism, do they still have Holy Prism?
Holy Prism is a talent, but it's no longer meta.
Because that was always fun because I'd have the boss targeted, been using mouse over healing, and just when that was off cooldown, I just zap the boss and heal everybody in melee range.
Yeah, and now that you're in melee range and your mastery is healing everybody around you,
you don't need it.
You really don't need that particular spell, and there's just better stuff.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I take instead of that, honestly. I'm still wrapping my head around.
No, and Holy Pally healing is always weird. It's always
I'm only like 105, so the most I've done as far as healing goes is like 2 dungeons.
Right.
It's not been a lot of experience in that regard. I hope to kind of get into it a little more. I'd like to learn how to do it. And
leveling Pally for healing is always very strong.
I just switched to tank. I just switched to tank and I run around a tank so what they're doing now with the every 18 hours they have the Legion invasions.
Yes.
And you just run your alts through that
because
all of the rewards change. They change to just experience, like bonus experience for each thing.
Oh, got it.
So you're getting with heirlooms, because all the heirlooms go up to 110 now.
Yeah.
You get like a level and a half every invasion.
That's pretty good.
So it's not like I'm like leveling these guys. Like
Right.
I'm not doing world quests. I'm not doing anything but logging on during those invasions, and then I'll run through the quick loop of 5 or 6 world quests or invasion quests,
And just get them tons of XP.
get a level. I'm gonna really dig in once I actually hit max level, but like so
Right.
far that's kind of my current project now that my 2 main rating classes are already geared and
Nice.
and caught up on the artifact power grind.
Right.
So,
And I've had some fun kind of stepping back in. We talked last week. I resubbed and was getting into that.
yeah.
And it's without the impetus of a raid team, which I haven't played WoW without a raid team in a long, long time. It's definitely a more
different
casual experience.
Definitely.
I'm
so.
just like,
yeah.
I don't feel the need to do this now. I'm just gonna go play Stardew Valley.
If you're interested in trying to raid again, I mean, my weekend team definitely is always just like they'll take anybody.
Don't do this.
I'm just saying.
Don't
just
do
saying,
it. Stop it.
saying.
Stop it.
Weekend guys are so casual.
You're a monster,
and they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. You're a monster.
But hey, if you just want to jump in, check it out. Even if you don't want to raid regularly, they'd be fine to just take you for a weekend.
The serious thing is raiding is fun.
Raiding is fun.
And I do like that shaman. And that shaman's fun
element
to play.
of competition as well. It's that you can
cooperative competition.
Cooperative competition where it's literally a race. You know, you're just like, hey, like, can I do more damage than the next guy?
And anybody who played me during the heyday of me running Death Knight and towards the end of me running that shaman, I definitely did I am going to antagonize you to do better by
pointing out,
stroking my damage meter.
Yes.
You see this damage meter? It's bigger than yours.
Though I'm afraid that once you see those damage meters, you're just gonna want to switch back to Death Knight because Frost Death Knight right now is next level.
Oh, I mean, I love Frost DK.
Yeah,
that was kind of my first main.
Yeah,
but here's the thing: I really like the way
Shaman's great too, though.
I love the way Elemental Shaman.
Yeah.
Elemental Shaman plays now the way old Frost DK did.
Yeah, and I wonder what Frost DK plays like. I've never leveled a DK in any real regard.
Right.
When I have, it's been like tanking.
They slowed it way down, I want to say, is what it felt like when I...
Early expansion, right?
Right, yeah.
I don't know what it's... I
have no idea what it is now.
Maybe I'll do my Death Knight next.
Yeah, maybe I will too.
See how that feels. Because I've always wanted to play a little bit of Death Knight at max level and see what that feels like, but...
Death Knight, all I have is old memories, but it was a blast. And
Death Knights are cool. They're slow, though. That's my only beef. I hate that they have no movement increase.
Really?
They're the slowest. Like, what is it?
They used to have a Death's Advance or whatever it is.
Yeah, but it was still so minimal.
It was minimal.
It was a joke.
Which is funny because when they normalized it, they screwed one of the things. Death Knights used to be just passively faster.
Yeah, and
especially mounted.
And coming off of like playing Druid, where I just have insane movement.
I'll just turn into a cat.
Time. Yeah, and then I have like just cooldowns on cooldowns for speed increases. But it's been a lot of fun. The Feral Druid has been a little bit lackluster, sadly, in that the changes they've made make it very burst window focused. So I like every couple minutes I have a window of that I need to like keep my damage up, and then in between those windows I just maintain.
Gotcha.
It's kind of disappointing. It's not as engaging as it used to be. It's also easier because they've kind of made it a little more accessible for people.
Baked in some things and
made
trimmed the fat.
Trimmed some of the spinning plates, as people used to say. Like you had to balance a lot of things, keeping dots up, keeping buffs up.
That was the complicated part, but the fun part about playing Rogue when I tried to switch Rogue was, okay, keep this buff up, keep this buff up. Okay, when those two buffs are up, hit this buff, make sure your poisons are up, and then okay, I'm going to trigger this cooldown, and now the buffs juggling changes. It was interesting, but I want to say it was fun.
It seems like they've taken that away from Rogues as well. Like that's very much what Feral Druid was as well. And now it seems like a lot of the Rogue classes are a little bit more RNG,
right?
In that they're like kind of based on procs and things like that.
Yeah.
But I only hear that secondhand. We have some really good rogues that I raid with, so
cool.
It's kind of interesting to hear what they say. I used to play a bit of rogue myself.
Nice. I've been known to rogue from time to time.
I've been known to rogue.
I tried at the beginning of Warlords, and that's when we ran out of healers, and I voluntarily press ganged into Holy Pally.
Yeah.
But
good stuff though.
Yeah, like we talked about it at length. But just the production quality and the way that game is just it's its own creature.
It is. It's something else.
I've played other MMOs, but nothing's just nothing's the same.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Well, what is our new excitement, Dan?
Our beta/demo.
What did we just
hotness?
find out about? That is pretty amazing.
We talked about Monster Hunter last week, and during the week, I texted Joe and let him know. I was like, "Hey, it looks like they're doing an encore of the beta/demo of Monster Hunter World." And
holy crap, it's good.
And we're going to play it, which we did this morning, and my goodness.
Yeah, that is a fun game.
And
kind of surprising in that like there's a very deep kind of class weapon system.
Each weapon is its own very deep well of nuance.
Yeah, it's interesting and surprising.
Yeah. And it takes a bit to get to you're going, oh, okay. Like I was playing.
And it's a demo, so we're getting like it's very combat focused purely. Like we get almost nothing of the greater crafting and
the full breadth of equipment. I was playing around in the training area.
Yeah, definitely.
The training area actually has like for the heavy bow gun, which weirdly I went ranged and you ended up going melee.
By the end of our play session, I ended up going with a melee class, which is weird for me.
Yeah. So there's more types of ammo than I have access to in the hunt now in the demo.
Well, that makes sense. So as you gather more stuff and create and mix things around.
It's weird to play a class where you have a gun that has all types of ammunition loaded into it, and you just have to reload that type when you run out of that type. And so it's all about hot switching. Oh, he's trying to run away. I'm going to switch to paralysis. Oh, I'm going to switch to poison because he takes more poison damage. Oh, he's weak to thunder damage. I'm going to switch to that type. And oh, he's laying on his ground. I'm going to switch to wyvern damage and do that like blast attack.
Poisons him, right?
Yeah. Oh no, the wyvern is that
wyvern's
the charge up, that flame that spits and then does good stagger damage.
Got it.
Anyway, you're just kind of learning to juggle that, and also it's a heavy weapon, so it's like, oh, he's running. Now I need to sling that on my back and chase after him, and I can't defend myself.
Yep. That
super
is
cool.
An interesting game. It's got some very Dark Souls-like control.
Animation priority.
Animation priority is a thing. You need to commit to your attacks, things like that.
Or commit to putting your weapon away.
Commit to
your dodge.
Getting out of the way so you can sharpen your weapon in the case of melee.
Right, because weapons go dull.
Yeah, weapons go dull after you're smacking on weirdly armored
What would you say
dinosaurs.
That's that mid-level fight, because they had beginner was joke. Intermediate was a good place to learn.
It was interesting.
An expert we haven't beaten yet, but we're not sure if we're doing enough damage or not, but we feel like we're almost there.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting really close. I think we're getting into like its final phase, but we're running out of time.
You have 20 minutes in the demo. You have a 20-minute hunt to find him, beat the crap out of him, and then loot his corpse.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah,
and it's been weird to go in melee. So I started out playing around with the bow. And very satisfying.
Bow's great.
Bow is really good, really fun. I'll probably still play a lot of bow.
Master the bows, but yeah.
Eventually. But I think I am going to focus. I ended up going with like kind of one of the weirder weapons, the glaive and a weird beetle.
The insect glaive is what it's called.
I think it's called a feathered blade, actually.
Well, no, that's the type of the weapon. That's the name of the weapon. The class is insect glaive.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that's fine
because it's a glaive and an insect,
which is super awesome because you get a bug and you can like send the bug out to mark targets for you. And
there's some interaction there too, right?
Yes. And I don't fully understand that yet. It's something I'll have to come back with next time, and maybe we can hash that out a little bit and figure out what it is.
That's fine because the bowgun has a lay down sniper shot, and I have no idea how to even do that.
Right?
Yet.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of that, and with this glaive as well, it's very like weirdly aerial. Like you'll vault yourself into the air and then like kind of
crouching tiger style,
very
like
much
aerial.
So. It's super exciting to play, and you like will jump on the backs of the dinosaurs and monsters and just like stab the crap out of them.
They're monstersaurs, so a lot of them are
monstersaurus, yeah. And it's got kind of a fun little quick time event thing where you're just stabbing, you're jumping around, you're bracing yourself as the dinosaur is trying to like throw you off, or when you need to change position. So so for one part I'll be like hanging onto the tail and slashing the crap out of it, and then I'll jump up onto his neck and start stabbing the crap out of him.
It's great to watch somebody else doing that from afar as I'm just shooting it with with my machine gun. I'm like, hey, good job.
It is a lot of fun. There's like charge up mechanics. There's different items and stuff that you can use.
There's statuses, there's knockdowns.
And each of the weapons have kind of unique things that they have. Like you could coat your arrows on the bow with different like paralysis type arrows.
Which works kind of like my ammo, but differently.
It's different, yeah.
Because you don't have mortars.
Right. Well, sort of. But on the bow you have that
the rock drop
thing where you shoot like a balloon up into the sky.
Yeah.
And it then just drops down a bunch of stuff it just rains rocks onto things. So really looking forward to playing more of that. Oh, and you get a cat.
Oh, palicos.
You get a palico.
Like they are your buddy, your palico.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is?
I think that's
so bad.
And I love it.
Their puns are so good.
They call you Meowster.
Meowster, and they see Meowsters.
Meowsters. I'll lend you a paw.
Oh gosh, it's bad. They look really good. Great character models. They also get their own gear,
and you can customize them.
And you can customize them and how they handle things and how they help you out as support.
It's a cute overload kind of thing.
Oh yeah, it is. They're adorable.
Mine has like this little helmet and goggles, so he's a steampunk palico.
Yes.
Oh man,
I'm looking forward to that. To the full version.
I also played around with something. So in the demo, they're buffing you, where like
very clearly.
Yes, and there's some food. Well, not to the point where you can just breeze through, but like food buffs. They're not even introducing food buffs. So I was playing around with that in the training after we finished. And so you throw raw meat onto a spit and music plays, and if you time it too short, you don't cook the meat and you fail. And if you play it too long, it burns the meat, you lose the meat and you fail. You have to stop at the right time to get cooked meat that you can then eat and get a buff from.
This game, I'm kind of excited. I'm excited to see what this game
the loot
is.
I scalped a dinosaur.
Loot. Yeah. Because you're harvesting these parts off dinosaurs. Like, what does that mean?
I got a scalp and a taint, and that's Dino taint, and I don't know. Maybe you. I had a different name.
Maybe you make that into a loincloth or something. I don't know.
I think it's something you slap your enemies in the face with.
And that too. I mean, it's really interesting. I'd be curious to see if like we're finding plans for gear, and then that's why
or do you just know everything and you just can't find the gear?
Maybe I don't know. I mean, clearly there's a lot of resources at the camp.
There are a ton of resources.
I'm sure there's some like dusty tome that's like, hey, you can make cool armor if you go and like
right. And there's
the
world resources.
This one monster and.
There's also world resources, like plants and things in the world.
That too, yeah.
And there's also other animals that are there that you can kill and harvest. So that you might...
Right. I imagine, like, when we get to the full game, I imagine it's going to start off quite a bit harder.
Yes.
and we're just going to be killing some of those little guys and just avoiding everything that's like kind of medium to big size.
Each map has like a... So on the one we did out in it's kind of a beachy, sandy area.
Yeah. It starts with there's the beach and then the jungly, and then there's like that lake. There's like southern Utah.
Yeah, southern Utah, desolate
style desert. Sand dunes.
Where we're fighting this weird toe-headed monster, but he's not the kind of the apex predator of the map. In fact, there's a couple different.
Rathalos. We did see Rathalos.
The Rathalos. Then this dragon basically swoops down and starts fighting this guy that we're trying to hunt.
Yeah,
and starts wailing on us if we get too close to him, and some of the animations were that like there was a sea animal that fought against it as well,
right?
That would wrap itself around and drop the
territory, the territorial disputes.
Yeah.
So if you like drag your monster into these different zones,
or if it runs from you,
from you into one of these zones, it can basically trigger these like whatever animals usually there, and it'll come in and try and defend its territory by attacking whatever you're trying to hunt.
They don't take lightly to you because they
don't like us either.
There's this feathered raptor thing that picked up a boulder and smashed it into my face, and after that I'm like, I'm gonna leave that guy alone.
That guy, I mean, granted, I did start that. I did shoot him in the face a number of times.
Okay.
Because I was curious. I was like, well, does this guy like give us rare stuff? Like, clearly he's either here to help us or
and
we're
he had
supposed
a name
to kill him. Yeah, he did have a weird name.
Also, I'll say when I was doing the single player thing, I had this weird event where so I'm turning around, I walk into a pack of monsters on my way to the real hunt, and they aggro, and I'm like, let's see how, because I'm trying out weapons. I'm like, let's give it a go. Start fighting these monsters, and I get kind of separated off in a pack. And I kill most of them, and I turn around, and I see my palico riding one of them.
Okay.
And I don't know what he's doing, but he's riding it, and it's staying away from me. I'm like, okay, because you can mount on these things, and we talked about it a little bit. So anyway, I kill all those, turn around, and he's jumped off that one, and suddenly that guy's now in my party as a friend.
Oh, like he tamed it?
He like charmed it for a while.
That's cool.
And I have no idea how that happened. But when I go and fought the toe-headed monster thing, it's rushing in and fighting for me. It's like, oh, is there a charm?
Fantastic.
Is there a charm spec?
Apparently you had something.
Like a Wrangler spec or something?
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Anyway, it is...
Also, the Palicos, like, they just have so much character. They add a nice, like, levity to the entire experience.
Right.
Like, if you get into, like, too deep of water, they inflate these little rafts.
Oh, the rafts, and they paddle.
And they paddle across, just following you.
And they're still fighting.
And, yeah.
But they're staying close to you by paddling in their little orange rafts.
In their little orange rafts, and then they have weird little shield things that they'll pop out or ride around in, like little sleds. It's kind of amazing.
And some of their incidental dialogue is also... cute, let's say. Like,
sure, yeah.
There's a healing.
They're leaning on the whole like cat pun. Like,
yeah, there's a healing bug thing that they use. When he does it, they say, "Hey, Mr. Bug, I need you to go help Meowster." And go heal him or something like that. It's like these dialogues are popping up as they're healing you.
We'll see what happens when this game goes full.
It's got a lot of charm.
It's very charming,
but it's weird. It's impenetrable.
It looks gorgeous. It's great looking game.
Yeah.
Feels good to play. Control scheme's a little like out of my wheelhouse. I've never played anything that
it's subverting conventions. I think
a little bit, and
because
it may just be because that's how Monster Hunter does it.
Right, but we've never played before.
Yeah, it's a pretty venerable series, so I imagine some of it's probably like normal Monster Hunter control.
Right, like the heavy, like you have 2 attacks on triangle and circle as opposed to triangle and square, which is what every other game ever has always done.
Yeah, it's kind of it's interesting, and it's usually combinations of those two, and like
depending
trigger.
on
you're putting away your weapon with R1. And
right.
It's got some weirdness to it and some nuance that I kind of look forward to kind of digging into.
Yeah, I'm afraid of a lot of the weapons, but then again, maybe at some point I look forward to mastering all 14 of them.
I did try that tanking lance.
Yeah.
The lightning lance or the thunder lance.
Thunder lance, yeah.
Thunder lance, and so it's a big lance and a shield. Kind of interesting. It made a lot of sense for the monster we were killing because I needed to get underneath his stony body.
You got all up under
him. And smack the crap out of him,
But the Insect Glaive also ended up
Glaive ended up being more... I'm always more of a speed, more of agility-based classes. I like being a lot faster. And then the fact that it was also aerial, and so I'm jumping up in it. I'm vaulting myself into the air and just jumping all over like a madman and spinning like...
And your harpooning back your grappling hook.
Yeah. I got shook from the dinosaur one time, and he like bucked me off, essentially. And it said like, hey, hit this QuickTime button, and I like... Batman ziplined back onto the back of the dinosaur and still kick the crap out of him.
You've got that all the time. I've been using that on vines. As you start climbing, if you hit jump, you just grapple hook farther and zip yourself up.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
that's super cool.
Well, and I would say the other thing is there's environmental effects. I heard somebody talking about you being able to burst a dam and change part of the environment.
Oh wow!
But what we had is when that Rathalos swooped in on I forget the Brachus.
Yeah.
Brachazon.
Yeah.
Thanks. Brachazon. Anyway, we were fighting over a sand pit, and then something happened, and all of a sudden all the sand started draining out of the pit
and
sucked
our target down.
Sucked our target in, but Rathalos is out there screaming his head off, and so we jumped down the hole. There's a whole cave system down there.
Right.
And then we're down there fighting.
Came down as well.
Eventually, he flew around and
he did a couple laps, but then he came down to like keep after us and our target.
Yeah, the braggart that had...
oh, man. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff in that game. It's pretty interesting. The animal AI, the monster AI, seems pretty...
it's not predictable.
Good.
It's not predictable either.
It's definitely not.
Though when you start hurting monsters and they start trying to get away, they do seem to like favor that. Like, okay, I'm going to fight for a little bit. Now I'm gonna run away some more.
Oh, right, yeah.
Trigger and run away.
Yeah, like the Brogoth. Like once we damage
is a great name.
I can't remember, but Brogoth is what I'm gonna call him.
Yeah, I like
it. Rocky looking kind of small T-Rex. And he once we damaged him enough, like you could see, he's pretty.
They start limping real bad.
You
start feeling bad.
Kinda, yeah.
You don't stop.
You don't stop. You just you're like, oh, that sucks. Like that's gotta hurt. But he's limping away, and you see he's damaged. And so he's running off to try and heal himself by rolling in the mud.
Was he missing a tail at that point? Did you cut off his tail that time?
One of our attempts, we eventually got his tail off, yeah.
A whole mechanic. Yeah. Just cut off the tail.
Yeah, if you can focus on like different parts of the monsters, like you can damage them to the point they can't use that to attack you anymore. In the case of like a spiked tail, things like that.
Also, the really cool thing is like the observational things you have to say. Like we were fighting this other T-Rex-ish looking thing different T-Rex that inflated itself like the Dilophosaur.
Oh, kind of, yeah.
But it has wings and stuff.
Yeah, kind of like.
And I'm finding, I'm noticing, they've added. I guess it's not wasn't always a thing. Is the numbers that pop off, and then as I'm fighting, you've got to observe which type of weapon does which damage where on the body. So
right.
it takes more damage on the wings when the wings are up. Okay, how do we get the wings up more?
Yeah, or the Brogoth was all stony on his back and like legs,
and his face,
you had to kind of get underneath and get him in the belly and stuff like that.
Or I was using armor-piercing weapons,
or use armor-piercing rounds. Yeah, that helps.
That tended to be all right, but it was immune to like thundered ammo. So when I got down to it, and all I have is thunder ammo, it's like, okay, well, we're not using this. We're just going to use regular ammo because it's no difference.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess in the main game, there's probably going to be a crafting and or monetary difference there. That's probably going to make that a harder spec to run. It probably does more damage because it seems to do a ton of damage. The bowgun, heavy bowgun.
The heavy bowgun is cool.
It's cool, but
it has some really cool weapons in that game.
Because there's bowgun, heavy bowgun, and bow, and they're all great and all work very, very differently.
Real satisfying.
Satisfying.
Yeah.
I would actually probably. I think it was funny you went Thunder Lance. I was like, why didn't you just go Gun Lance, which is literally a gun lance?
No shield with the gun lance.
It has a shield.
Not the gun lance.
It does. The switch axe has no shield.
Maybe that's what I was
gun lance
confusing it with.
Their specs are the same.
I used both of them. I thought the gun lance did not have a shield.
It does. It absolutely does.
Because you're two-handing.
Nope.
No, you're not.
Nope. You're thinking of the switch axe.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which is a sword and an axe. And then there's a sword and the shield that becomes an axe.
Yeah, I did not like that one.
It's
a weird thing.
It's clunkier
I could see it becoming cool if you got used to like being able to like combine and pull them apart.
Well, once you know how to work those things, I'm sure they become amazing.
Yeah. The switch axe is actually really rad. I did enjoy that one. That one seemed really cool because you can swap the mode on the fly.
The funny thing
which creates different combos.
Yeah. The funny thing is that you have a sword and a shield, and also double daggers or double hatchets.
Yeah, the hatchets are fun.
Which they look cool and look like they would be, fill some very specific roles, but they feel overshadowed by the awesomeness of all other weapons.
Yeah, it's like these are classic Monster Hunter staples that you know from old series,
right?
And we kind of are obligated to put them in, but they're maybe not the
most
exciting.
I bet you they're amazing when you know how to do it.
Could be. It could be, and then it may be that all of these things will get upgraded as the actual game goes on, and we get more used to them.
Yeah, the funny thing is if it ends up like I'm the sword and shield guy, and you end up as the dagger guy because those are just the things that play.
End up working out real well.
Right, you end up
going with the bug glaive.
No,
I'm gonna probably play that as my main.
I kind of
it's too much fun.
I may have fallen in love with heavy bowgun as well,
and that thing's rad.
Well, the funny thing is you're like, hold on a second, I need to pull this thing off of my back, snap it back together because it folds in half in the middle. Oh, what's that? My specials charge. Let me load my special ammunition in,
and just barrel
machine gun down everything that's in my way. The mortar shot's a lot of fun. Like, hey, watch out, I'm dropping mortars. Just hold him there, but don't get hit by this.
So true.
Oh man, it's great fun, and we're just playing the demo.
Yeah, and that's pretty surprising. I look forward to getting more into that.
Absolutely. Expect a more detailed and sad report next week. Because the demo will be over.
The demo will be over.
And we have to wait till the 26th for it to come out?
16th of January.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. It's coming. It's up quick. It's only a couple more weeks.
Okay. Well, except for the PC version is not.
Unless we find out that there's a PC version that's going to happen.
There is a PC version that's going to happen, but there's zero information on it. So I don't think I'm going to be able to wait.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I know me.
Also, if we want to play with some of our other friends, we may need to just get it on PS4.
Which is a compromise I think I'm willing to make in this case.
It's good. It seems good.
Seems legit. Though I'm going to have to start paying for PlayStation Plus again at some point.
Isn't that always the way?
Yep, that's how they get you. Anyway, that's Monster Hunter.
They do give you a lot of free games on PS Plus, though.
I just always forget to redeem them.
Just add them to your library every month.
Yeah, I forget to even log in and do that. Once a month, I don't even do that. I've gone so PC Master Race, it's ridiculous.
It's true, though. PC is Master Race.
And speaking of the Master Race, there is that plethora of games that come out, and especially this time of year in the Steam sale. So anything caught your eye, Joe?
I mean, yes, definitely. Possibly the next game I'm going to be playing on the channel, Hyperlight Drifter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely picking that up. I'm gonna mess around with it a little bit, see if it will fit the channel, and if it is good enough, then
right. We've been looking at formatting
next feature
closely
because we're closing in on the ending of Space Marine, and then I need to figure out what I want to do next.
Yeah.
And so far that what were the other things I was looking at? I'd like to get Astroneer. I've always liked to look at that.
Yeah,
if that's on sale for more than it usually is, I'll pick that up.
My experience with that is you get a couple hours and go, I see what this is.
Right. It seems like a Zen. I kind of want to use it as a what's that other space game? I can't remember.
What is it? What do you do in the space game?
Just explore.
Oh, Elite Dangerous.
I mean the other one that was on consoles. That's not a full space sim. Very bright colors. Everyone was really excited about it. Kind of was a disappointment.
Oh, No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky, that's the one.
Okay, I'm like, you're losing me real fast. Bright colors.
Bright colors on the planets.
I get you.
I kind of wanted to play that, and I wanted kind of a more Zen experience. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think Astroneer would fit that bill as well, quite well.
It's still early access, so it doesn't count for the channel.
Right, no, and it is more just kind of my own personal interest in that.
Podcast game.
Yeah, maybe a podcast talk about how that goes. Other than that, I don't know. I'm not really on too much of a lookout for much. I'd have to look at my wish list again and see if anything else is on sale.
We look at my wish list every time we boot that up.
How long is that going? How long is the sale going?
January 4th.
Oh, okay, so we got a few days. All right.
So if you're looking for games, get there, check it out. As I said, Grand Theft Auto 5 is as cheap as I've ever seen it, $23.
I don't know how much I'm interested in GTA.
Me either. If it was $10, I'd pick it up because those games are expansive and well made. They're always well made games that are great.
And I've never played a GTA game since the old. I think I played GTA 1 or 2.
Really, the side scrollers, the pixel,
like that overhead.
Yeah.
View.
I've seen screenshots of that.
It's cool. I really enjoyed that.
I played 4. 4 was interesting.
I have 4. It's part of my backlog.
Yeah.
Once we have a capture card, maybe I'll actually play a modern GTA game.
Maybe. Yeah. So I'm looking at some strategy games, some things of that nature, because of course I am. I need to do something to get you, Joe, to see some strategy games in action and just kind of wrap your head around. I know you don't like strategy games, but I just think
it's never really been my jam. I don't have that much of a problem with them. I just like,
But then again, you were looking at We Are Billions, and
that game does look cool.
That's a strategy game.
Yeah, and that's on sale.
It's early access. It's a strategy, like an RTS, but you never stop base building. And there's just billions of zombies to fight.
It seems like a zombie game I could get behind.
Yeah, I don't like zombie games, but I can get behind this kind of zombie game.
Yeah, zombie strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at this week.
Kind of what we've been doing.
For the channel, with holidays and all that stuff, we might slow down a little bit. We might pick up pace a little bit. We're not sure. We're not going to be. We're
not sure. Yeah, we're kind of in a transitional, like kind of reevaluating some stuff.
Year end, we want to look at ourselves and see what we need to do better. And if there's anything that you think we're missing, let us know in the comments down below.
Let us know.
Just smash that comment button. I hear people say that. Not just like,
smash that. Yeah,
smash that
button.
Smash that button, yo. So that's I think that's gonna be about it. I think we're getting out a little bit shorter than we normally do.
That's fine. Yeah. Look forward to some hopefully some new stuff with the new year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely, because Space Marine, we've wrapped Space Marine. We haven't got them all up, so a little bit of a lag there, and then Overlord's going to continue. We're going to keep doing Overlord.
Yeah, we need to get it back on Overlord.
We do.
We need to see where that game's going.
Gotta remember how to play that game.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing.
It's a weird thing.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're not going to bore you with us saying the same thing we've said so many times. Yeah. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. If you've got any comments, email us or drop it in the comments, and we'll keep going, and we'll catch you next week on the Backcast.
Yeah, happy holidays, everyone. Catch you later.